just blow your mind. Talking absolute DC and leaving everything else behind. So you go. It's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. It's the Weird Science DC Comics Absolute DC Show. So let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Weird Science Absolute DC Comics podcast / live stream / ridiculous nonsense. I don't know. I'm here with Gray. What up, Gray?
How you doing, Jim? I'm trying to gig you up. I don't know if it's worked.
It's not. It's not working. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Maybe you and the live stream chat might be able to get me all fired up somehow. But here we are to talk two books with Absolute Flash and Absolute Batman. One is a little better than the other. I know that you are a fan of one of these, and the other one...
I would say a lot better than the other.
Yeah, me and you are wondering what the heck is going on with a book that I keep trying to tell people, hey, listen, I trust this Jeff Lemire. This guy, he's on it. He knows what's going on. He's going to tell us what's going on. I don't know what the hell happens in this issue. And it's not just Jeff Lemire. It's the awful, awful art. This art, I try not to be that mean unless I'm yelling at somebody on Twitter and trying to fight them in real life. But in the meantime, like, this art sucks. It's terrible. It doesn't...
I thought he'd swapped artists halfway through the book, or even like a few pages. It was so bad and so strange. It's like, no, it's the same artist. What?
Yeah. Oh, I thought they swapped it with a 7-year-old. That's what I thought happened. The idea of this is like the story itself is ambiguously, nothing. You're trying to figure out stuff, and then in the meantime, when you try to grasp something, you have to use the art. I'm like, I'm confused. I don't know what I'm looking at. It looks like a bunch of ink blots. I'm like, oh, there's a rabbit. I don't know. It's like I was
at... Does anybody remember detail, Jim?
I'm telling you, yeah, really. It's like you're at the mall with those men. I'm like, oh, a sailboat. And that's me going through this stupid thing. And then I got frustrated. God. But again, I'll apologize to everybody. And it's been a couple weeks now. But boy, I'm on a downturn. I am on an all-time low. I am. I end up where, as I'm reading the stuff, I'm starting to like, there's always books that I read like, oh my God, I really don't want to read that. But when it comes to the idea where I'm like, the way that we set our things up and do things, usually Wednesday is around the time I start doing the newer stuff. I do some Monday night, but it's usually like Wednesday where all the big things go. I have to start reading things. I start getting things set up, and I'm like, I'm starting to like really get wary of that. They're like, I really don't. People will tell you this week. I mean, even me and you were going to do things. And when you said like, oh, I can't really do the Marvel stuff, I'm like, thank God. Like, you thought I was going to get mad. I was like, oh my goodness. No, I'm like, thank God I can sleep. I don't have to do this nonsense.
Don't have to get up early.
I'm so excited. But here we are. And speaking of which, just to let you know, Gray, I didn't read that New Gods. Me and you were going to do that next. I
haven't read it yet.
Yeah, I don't think we're doing it.
For that.
I think that me and you might, if you have time, we'll just do the intro and outro again. I have fun doing that. That's pretty good. But in the meantime, I don't think New Gods is going to be on the podcast this week because I couldn't get myself to even read that. But here we go.
Oh my God, Jim. What's happened to you? I need to gank you up.
This happened at points. The thing is, what would usually happen before, I'd get so depressed with the state of the books, and I'd yell at Eric, and then Eric would end up getting me so mad that I would end up like almost like reverse polarity, then get positive to show him he's I don't even know. It is somehow.
Is that what to do with it? Is that how it works? I've got to make you mad to fix you?
Maybe. That's what it might be. But yeah, nice. the deal where you're like, hey, what's going on? And Brandon will be happy. I mean, this week I don't know my highest score. I don't even know what it was yet. It might have been a 3. It's that bad. This week stinks.
Also in the chat, Jim Kane just commenting what you were saying before. The Absolute Batman cover is funny. It looks like Bruce is a kid with a huge body.
Kane, right before we started, I looked at the cover and I said to Gray, what's up with that? I said, everybody's all upset about Pinhead Bane. Look at Bruce. It's like a 2-year-old. It's like goo goo gaga. He's doing there. Goo Lady Gaga, possibly. But yes, Fearmonger.
I'm still a big fan of Nick Drotter, though. I will defend him to the end, Jim. I love his art. I don't care what anyone says. I'll fight you.
Actually, I like his art, but we're not going to start with his art because, again, we're starting with Flash, and I can't say A.L. Kaplan. Is A.L. stand for absolute loser? I don't know. I shouldn't be this mean.
Shots fired.
I've given up. Here's something I'll ask people in the chat, because if you're not tuning in live, I don't know what the hell you're doing. Maybe having a life on a Friday night. But the idea where we do this live and there's people in the chat, and I'll ask them, DC hates our guts, right? Me and you, Greg. They hate us.
Oh, yeah. And me too, yeah.
I have the first issue of Batman. I have the Matt Fraction Batman issue. I almost want to just do a review on it.
How dare you?
And sit there and give it. I'll send it to you. But the idea is, I always think, well, I won't do a early review because I don't really look at early reviews because I want to wait until it comes out myself. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll tell you right now, this might be part of my upsetness. I've read it. Didn't like it. And that's a book that I've been hinging on.
No.
Okay, let's get to September. Let's get to September and October. Let's get things rolling again. And I didn't like it much at all.
You've stolen my dreams, Jim.
Yeah. There it is. And Brandon said the hot or not shows that I do with Wes are 99% Jim and total misery. Well, Brandon, I'll ask you, did you like what I had to say this week? No, because I wasn't on, because I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it anymore. I just can't take it anymore. So I've had enough. What is the saying?
Are you mad as hell, Jim?
I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell. It's the idea that, everything that we end up doing hinges on somebody else's abilities. Like, we're reviewing stuff, but it really comes down to these assholes writing something good. And half of them, 99% of them, can't even write themselves out of a paper bag. I don't even know how that happens or works, but here we go. This whole week is going to be just a hoot. I'll tell you.
I tell you.
The thing is, I think I've been more positive in the past year than I have, and still people say I'm miserable. They're going to get the old Jimmy back. They're going to get the old Jimmy who just didn't care. But Jeff Lemire writing. I know
what it is. It's my fault, Jim. It's my fault, isn't it? Because I couldn't do the Friday night for me, so Friday morning for you recording of Invisibles or whatever. So I've not been able to to genki you up, to influence you, to give you that
I will
positivity.
tell you, now that you say that, I did read that. I did read the issue, and Dane / Jack cracked me the hell up in that, where he's just hanging. I mean, at points he's just hanging there, looking at all the weird people. But it was a wacky.
I forgot the Japanese come into it.
That was a real wacky issue as well. I'll tell you, that was very wordy. But I did read it. So you ended up saying we might be able to do that this week, and we might be doing it after this because I do know what's going on there. Okay, and then Brandon said Wes couldn't take it much either. Aside from Batman, these books kind of suck. Lots of Sammy. Yeah. I ended up hitting Sammy earlier on, say, a Detective Comics, because I was right. How can I end up being right about things and still be mad? Because I love being right. But boy, that Detective Comics story fell flat. But here we go. I'm scattered.
You love being right more than reading a good comic and enjoying a good comic. No, you don't.
If being right is wrong, I don't want to be right. Is what I say. It is absolute Flash number 5. Jeff Lemire writing, absolute loser Kaplan on art. You got Adriano Lucas on colors, Tom Napolitano on letters. You got the editors, which may actually, in this book, maybe they're sleeping. I don't know. Ash Padilla, who I did realize today is a woman. Didn't even know that. That's pretty cool.
Hello.
Hello there, ladies. Andrew Marino, senior editor. Katie Kubert, group editor. Chris Conroy, executive editor. We have 4 editors on this piece of crap book. And I'm saying it's a piece of crap book. It's just, we're 5 issues in. I don't know what the hell is going on in a worse way than Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter, I know they're trying to be wacky for wacky's sake. You end up, but at least they're Wakazashi's sake. You end up where also in the Martian Manhunter, I get it. I get the idea that it's showing you this anger that the White Martian has come in. He's trying to infest into this world that's going to affect everybody, including the Green Martian that's not really Martian, and John Jones, we have no idea about. But at least I know I just don't like it. I don't know what's going on in this book. I don't know what's going on, and what is going on is going so slow. And also, anybody who sits there, if you don't like Cy Spurrier's Flash, boy, and you say you like this. This is starting to get to that bullshit level of cosmic horror and kind of the idea of, hey, we're just going to be wacky. And I just don't like it. But you end up, I love Grodd. I do like Wally, but what do we get in this issue? They end up at the
Grodd's
end
the best thing about it, Jim. Yeah, it's the best thing in it.
Really.
Yeah.
And the end was the when
There's hardly anything happens. That's why.
That's
it's
the problem.
A weird issue. Nothing really happens.
We'll debate some things. I saw this is how much people are having problems with. I see a review on League of Comic Book Geeks because legitimately I went there hoping that maybe somebody had, kind of gleaned what that last page was. Maybe it's a little more than something I know. But I end up where I read it and this one person where people are like going, man, great review. This person says, well, it's great because Wally starts out by pulling Barry out of the Speed Force and tries to make him not be on fire anymore. I'm like, that is Heat Wave. That's the major part of the issue. And these people don't even know, and other people are commending him for a great review.
Great review.
Yeah, great review.
Wrong,
yeah,
that's great.
You didn't get anything right, but it's great review. And that's, again, half the blame goes to the book, but you end up where you have this deal where you do have McRoy, you do have Heatwave, and he's struggling. He's really hurt. He's trying to, it reminds me of all of the rogues that we see in the Batman book this week, where you go and see the typical villains or the typical, people who are against Wally or against Batman, but they are in a sympathetic place of like, oh my God, I'm being experimental, and oh, please help us. Hey, I can't help you, then kill me, please. But Mick's there, and when you end up where Grodd tries to tell him, didn't you get the idea right away that Grodd was trying to say, help this guy? Don't fight him. Help him. I mean, he says it right away at first. Wally, help him. Help him.
Heatwave just keeps screaming out, hurt.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hurting. Okay, we get it.
And
Wally
so
doesn't.
I ended up where, Wally's dense. Like,
He's
and
an
I get
idiot
it. It's
in this.
supposed to be this idea of like hurt where, you have the devil play. Just think of Frankenstein. Frankenstein has his arms out, and it looks like he's going to strangle you on hurt. You're like, oh, shit, he's going to hurt me. But what he's really saying is he's got, like, hemorrhoids, and his ass hurts. So it is that bit of a confusion. But in the meantime, you kind of get what this is. And I'm like, Wally, come on. You end up where Grodd's. Wally, help him. Help him? Yeah, help him. You just said it. That's what Grodd's telling you. Please. And so it's like a whole thing throughout this whole issue of him like, I don't know what to do, and I think he's attacking. Then it gets wonky.
Well, that's it. To be fair, Jim, he's scared of it because this thing is like radiating heat. It looks deadly. It's like walking lava, basically, isn't it? Molten lava. So he's like, I'm getting out of here. I ain't helping him. See you later.
Yeah, and so he's like, oh God, and he's like, not again. So he starts to get all, electric, and it's like, oh no, not again. It's like what happened in the deal with Barry in the desert. I'm like,
first issue.
We got to get past this. I mean, we're at issue 5 now. We're almost done a trade, and he's still, when he actually activates his power, he's saying, oh no, not again, like that first time 5 issues ago. I'm like, it's too long. You should already be doing a little bit more to control things and understand it, but he doesn't, so how could we? So you end up where all of a sudden the lava just blows up. It's Mount St. Helens in this joint. Everybody's yelling, and this is where the art takes a fucking dive.
I thought it was a different artist. I really did.
Holy shit. At a
What is
point,
going on outside the Dibney mission, and I can't even read it.
Yeah, and then when you end up where the art's so bad that when you're trying to suss out what characters are who, and there's at one point it looks like Linda and Ralph are laying on the ground. I'm like, is that them? Because it looks like a big lay. I'm like, I don't even get it. What he did like to draw was that mustache on Captain Cold. That thing is sus. But then, even then, we go back to the Rogues. The Rogues are hanging out in the break room. They're talking about the drones. They're doing nothing. They
just like Rogues do.
Yeah, just like Rogues do. They're there. They're like, hey, anybody got like a burrito I can microwave? Then all of a sudden you end up getting Golden Glider. It's like, hey, take that mask off, bitch. Like starts yelling at Jesse. I'm like, you haven't gotten enough character work yet in this to make this hit. And this reminds me a lot of Jeff Lemire beginning of the JSA, where you have bickering. We don't know these characters. I don't know why she wants her to take off the mask. Maybe just because it's an annoying mask. It looks like a big Walmart freaking thing. But you end up where she's like, take off the mask.
When she replies, yeah, I'll take mine off when you take yours off, Lisa.
This is what I'm talking about.
Shots fired.
Is anybody sitting there saying, oh man, that's classic Jesse? You can't, because we haven't had enough. So when she says, I'll take mine off when you take yours off, I guess meaning that, hey, you're acting like you're something you're not. You're pretending to be this thing that you really aren't, but we don't know enough of them. So it just ends up feeling like empty words just to cause, things. I don't mind when you get a little cat fight and she's like, I'll take you apart, bitch. Like, that made me laugh. That's like
most exciting part of the book.
That was legitimately 90% of my tweets this week were those exact words. So you end up where all this going on, and then they even say, "Well, we'll have to tuck the thong." And then she struts in with that cane like she's putting on the fucking Ritz. Comes in and is like, "Hello, boys and girls." Like, "Hey, what are you doing? I can take those gifts back." I'm like, don't know what you're saying either, because we really haven't established exactly what you're saying or what you're doing.
We're just blowing off steam, Doc. We're just sat here waiting around, which is true, isn't it? Like, they want to do something, don't they?
Yeah,
they're complaining about it.
That's the thing you get from this is just that they're sitting around and they're bored and they want to get going. What Thawne should have said was, well, actually, if you would have taken care of shit when you were out and about, you wouldn't be standing around, but you done messed up. And then she says, well, good news there, boys and girls. We have Wally, and he is with Grodd, and we're tracking him, and they've run into McRory. This is probably the biggest thing here in this scene, because then Captain Cold says, Rory, you said he died. You said he didn't survive the test. And she's like,
what else have you lied about, Thawne? Look at my mustache. It's fantastic.
I swear to God, that mustache is alive. The thing is like, look at it. Is it a mustache or a caterpillar? This thing is moving all around. So he ends up where he's like, hey, what else have you lied about, Thawne? She goes, you were told what you needed to, bitch. Get out of here. So it doesn't really do anything. And then just says, you'll be told what you need to be told. But first we're going to go get Wally West. We need him. She has said to Wally's dad already, like, he's the golden, this is the thing we've been trying to make. And you're talking about my dad. You're doing this, you're doing that. But then we go back to Rory. We go back to Ralph Dibny and that lady. Like, she's
who's that lady meant to be?
I don't know. She's a wreck. And you end up where, I mean, seriously, and you end up where it just, it feels kind of ridiculous that they're just jumping around trying to avoid molten lava outside of the Dibny house here.
While Heatwave was basically trying to attack them for some reason.
Yeah, or trying to escape or can't get the thing. But yeah, you end up with, I see Brandon said, we did pick the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. So you end up where Wally's still down in the sewers with molten lava all around him too. That just looks like it's like we're at a Nickelodeon fest where they've slimed everybody.
Watch that now, Jim. Airplane.
Yeah,
thanks
really,
for the reminder,
so
Brandon.
good. And then you end up where Grodd's like, Wally, okay? And he's, no,
look okay?
I'm not okay.
No.
I'm really not okay, Grodd. And he goes, no, Wally is okay. I'm like, no, that's not what you said, Grodd. You said it with a question mark. So you got to get it right. So even this scene, nothing feels like it's doing anything. It's
and even
just
Grodd's eyes, Jim, are starting to go all weird and twinkly too, like everybody else is in this issue.
So he's
I thought it was just Wally, wasn't it? Up till now.
Yeah, and he's starting to look more and more. He's starting to look more and more like that baby that got kicked. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kick this whole thing. But he's like, okay to be scared, because I'm scared, Grodd. Okay to be scared, but people scared too. He need Wally. I'm like, okay, but what can I do against that? Not we. Wally and Grodd. But again, it's like Wally still can't get the concept. I love the idea. It's like Grodd could end up, and the smile on Grodd's face that might be the worst art in the whole deal, where he's smiling when he gets that costume out. But then he's like, okay, I'm going to put the costume on. That might be able to control things. So where the hell, Wally, is there something wrong with your ears? Because all this time, no, Wally, help the heat. Help Heatwave. Heatwave need help. Gotta help Heatwave. He goes up and does a forearm shiv and then ends up running his shoulder into him. He's like hip checking him.
Is that an American football?
Why? Why?
Shoulder charge.
Yeah, and he's like, stop him. And then you end up, and then Grodd's like, no, don't do that. I'm like, This
The
is
best
all the
reaction
issue
here
is.
is Dibney. Instead of saying like, oh my God, thank you for saving me. He's like, Wally, what are you wearing?
Yeah, it's like about that sexy costume. Also,
Oh,
that
Jesus.
even
He's just nearly
realizes
been
it.
killed by molten lava, Jim.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's killed by molten lava and having to shove that
What are
dumpy
you wearing,
lady out of
Wally?
the way. Yeah,
Oh,
so
God.
then he's like, he checks him into the corner, right? Gets the puck. But the idea of, aren't you listening, Wally? And seriously, we're halfway through, maybe even a little more. And all we've gotten from Flash and Grodd is help, heat. And then Wally doesn't listen and hits him. No, help, heat. I'm like, we're not getting much.
Right. What do you mean? He says. Finally, he
Yeah,
asks,
what do you mean? Yeah, he's
heat,
like,
Wally,
yeah.
take the heat.
Yeah.
Take it.
So he's
Take
like,
it, baby.
hey, get in the kitchen, Wally. So he ends up where it looks like he's gonna try to take, but it doesn't look like he's trying to do it himself, really. But he says, heat, Wally, take heat. So basically, it's, hey, use your power to dissipate the heat off of Rory, and maybe that'll help him. But when he takes the heat, he goes cosmic. I don't know if this is supposed to be the empty hand because that shit's big stuff. But I don't know. And it ends up being this thing, or it could be reaching out that is Barry, where Barry's going, but you can't see. The art's not helping you any either. And then it just like pops, but it's like, Wally. But that seems also that it's yelling from within or before for Ralph. Then we come out, Ralph looks like I don't know what the hell happened to him. And also everything around him, including his, shelter, it's on fire. It's completely
Looks like Ron
on
Howard
fire.
when he was young.
Yeah, it's very odd. And he's like, hey,
Weird.
get up. But he's no concern for the burning mission. And then Grodd's like,
In the
what? And
background.
also at this point, Grodd's like, Wally, help. I'm like, I'm so annoyed with it. But that's where you see Barry. That's where it looks like he pulled Barry out. So I guess that's what the person said that it
I thought
started
it was
with
meant
that.
to be Heatwave.
But
like, there's a guy.
but
Who
I
is it,
think it
Rory?
might be Heatwave, but it looks like Barry. I
It
don't
could be
know.
Barry from behind. It's just like
But
a
it could be
naked guy
Rory.
with
I mean,
blonde
how
hair.
could you tell? And he's like pointing, and he's like, I just need a minute. And they don't even know what's going on. And then Wally freaks out, and he's like, oh my God, get the fuck away from me. And Kane even
Just
said,
like
Ralph
Dibney
immediately
touching him.
recognizing
Hands you
Wally.
there, Jim Dibney thing.
I-
All he does is put his hand on his shoulder. He's
Yeah.
like, oh, get away from
He
me.
doesn't like to be touched. I thought it
No.
was funny, too. Like, that costume is legit supposed to hide your identity. It's an epic fail. The minute he comes out, Ralph yells, hey, Wally, what are you wearing? Like,
Yeah,
oh,
Wally,
that
what are you
didn't work.
wearing?
That didn't work. Like, that he would even
not Halloween
assume
yet,
that
what are
it's
you doing?
him. It's just so weird. But, yeah, so you keep going with this, but what's going on in this issue? Because then Linda comes and says, we're going to help you. We'll help you. Let us help. All of a sudden, the helicopters come. Grodd says, we got to get the hell out of here. And that's pretty much what we get with Wally. Nothing. You get a wacky, maybe cosmic type thing that we don't know what it is. You get Ralph Dibney, who obviously knows now that Wally is Flash. You get Linda also, who nobody even cares about any sort of secret identity. You get the Rogues, they're hanging out in the break room pissed off, and they're going to go after him. So then what do we do from there?
Jim, does he know he's Flash? Because in this universe, I don't think it's not really been set up, has it? Like, is it brand new? He's got the powers, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they
So
know
no one knows
he's
who he is,
this
yeah, do
guy.
they?
Like,
They just know he's wearing a costume.
yeah,
Like,
he's,
what's his costume you wearing?
and seems to have crazy powers and ends up being attacked by a molten lava guy. So anything forward, if it becomes like, oh my God, there's a newspaper. Who's the Flash? Like,
Who's
there's
this
people
like
who
really
know.
high-speed kid? Oh,
Yeah.
I know him. It's
Yeah,
Wally West.
Yeah, it's Wally. Everybody's just like, hey, look, it's Wally. It's Wally wearing that stupid costume still. And just, oh my God.
This is ginger hair. It's a dead giveaway.
Damn right. Yeah, that is true. You didn't realize in the absolute universe there's only a couple gingers and they're all jerks. But you end up where even that,
Stop
like,
ginger hate.
how can you not have detail in the simple panel where you end up having Thawne there putting on the Ritz and she's like, you need to go now. We need the boy back unharmed. That's of vital importance. Like, that's not an important panel. But all you have there are a couple characters, a screen behind, which is completely blank, even though you already showed that it was supposed to be a map with a tracking deal, and then does that. And just the lack of detail on
Look at the map
Thawne
panel
is
as well,
this
Jim.
is
The tracking panel.
pathetic.
It's like, is that meant to be in orange?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Like,
That's Wally, the Wally and Grodd.
all I know is you better watch out.
Oh,
because
God.
I thought Thawne was more of a threat, but obviously she's only a white belt. Look at that thing that she has
And
on.
I feel bad. I've got to point this out. I do feel bad because I'm a big fan of artists. You know, I always try and support artists, but I wish I could draw. You know what I mean? I can't.
Here's the thing.
want to.
I can't draw for shit. So it is kind of a weird thing for me to criticize art, but you know what I can do? I can see. And this looks like shit.
Yeah,
so it's like, hey,
it's
Mick Rory.
It was a rushed issue.
It's terrible. And how do you rush when you're a fill-in artist? That's why you're there, so the other artist isn't rushing. This is one of those things where you should have probably had months upon months upon months. This was a setup thing, and it feels rushed. Now, maybe things were changed at the last second, but if it was changed at the last second, I would only think it was the last 2 pages with Wally's dad, but still, it looks like crap. But yeah, and then you get where they're like, hey, wait a minute. I love the idea. There's only, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 5 people in the room, right? And one of them's talking with just Thawne. She's like, hey, by the way, Colonel West. Oh, wait, where's he? I'm like, you didn't realize he wasn't in the room?
There for the whole issue.
No, he has never been there. She's like, oh, shit, where'd he get to? And then you see that he's wandering off and he goes.
Where
and again,
is Colonel West?
This is kind of like a... like an Area 51 type deal.
I thought we'd gone to the X-Files.
Yeah, so he uses, and he does have Barry Allen's thing, and he's looking into exactly what Barry was up to, because he did confront Thawne and say, what else was Barry doing? It had to do with Lazarus. It was all that stuff. And then you go in, and at first I'm like, well, it looks like they got the bat wing. It looks like Batman's thing, but it seems like it may or may not be, because then he ends up opening a deal, and then we got aliens that look like Martians. So I don't know. I
thought we dropped into an issue of The Invisibles, Jim.
Yeah,
weird.
Really.
Maybe we did review it after all. I just can't remember.
I thought I dropped into one issue of this new book called This Is Bullshit, because at the end, what you're doing, it seems, to me, this ending bit, that ties into the greater story. That ties into maybe the event coming up. You know what you should be doing? Tie up your own story. We don't have a story yet, and he's already having to tie up things. And we're at issue 5. This is not good. And this is the issue that I completely lost faith. I kept saying,
too.
Much to a lot of people's chagrin, including Brandon's, when I'd give the score, that I kept saying, I ended up where I wanted to, I wanted to give Jeff Lemire some credit and things like that. And I see Riley said the artist was hired for identity, not art. Checks a box. I think that's completely wrong, because nobody knows who this artist is. So what box are you checking? It's not like this is somebody that's a well-known person that's this, that, or the other thing. Nobody knows. And when you see the art, it looks like shit.
No, it's just a
fill-in artist.
That's it.
Again, we had that first fill-in artist. I wish I could remember who it was in the Absolute Batman. That is a well-known, respected artist. I thought that looked like shit. We're in
European artist.
And we're in.
It was okay, but it was a big change from Nick Dragotta's art, wasn't it?
Riley Googled it. I just A.L. Kaplan just looks like whatever, a guy. But the idea of it is, I don't get anything from that. That doesn't. The person isn't well known enough to say they put this artist in here to do this or do that, because it's not going to sell anything.
They did last issue, didn't they, as well? And that wasn't as bad as this. It wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad. But this one, man,
and this just looks like shit. Also, I mean, we like Nick Robles, right?
Rubles.
Anyone got any rubles? Up with that guy? We're only on issue 5, and he only did 3. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's completely and utterly ridiculous.
Were planned out well in advance, and they had at
least
absolute 5 issues ready to go.
Biggest thing, and the main artist can't do more than 3 issues. So fuck him too. All of them. Get it, everybody. I told you I'm going to be miserable. It's just because, again, we're dealing with an absolute thing that people are like trying to lean into and trying to really enjoy. We're coming up to an event that seems like it's going to like put things on its ear, and I don't even know what the hell's going on originally in this. I have no idea.
Jim, about the ending, with like Wally's dad, Colonel West. How random did it feel to you? It just came out of nowhere. It's like suddenly we've got him finding, a UFO with an alien in it. It's like, where was the setup for this? It's just a secret lab, but where and why and what? What the fuck?
Yeah. And again, I'll say to Riley, the idea that if A.L. Kaplan, I don't know A.L. Kaplan from Adam, but if A.L. Kaplan is trans, nobody's going to know that. It's not like they put that in the book or have the deal. That's just what
I don't care about that at all.
Yeah, I don't really care.
If they're a good artist or not.
If they kicked ass, I'd be like, this is great art.
Jesus,
right?
yeah. If the art was great, it wouldn't be. I'm sure this would be this conversation.
Yeah, it's just the worst. It's pretty bad. But what would you
But
give
yeah,
this?
what a letdown. As you say, Jim, you've been really trying to not big it up, but you've been supporting the writer, you've been supporting the book. You got me into it. I was enjoying it. It was a bit different. But this issue and the last one, man, I think I'm out.
I'm
I think
out.
I'm gone.
It went from my four. Here's the thing. I think I like this
Really
less than
disappointing.
Green Lantern. That's
Oh,
how
God,
bad.
yeah.
I think this is my least one issue. Last issue it started, but I think this
Yeah.
ended up catapulting it down. Did it catapult
And
down?
I hate saying this. We want to love the books. We want books that we can really enjoy and and talk about, get excited about. Jesus,
Yeah, I can't.
is it
no.
asking too much, Jim? A lot, you know what I mean?
can't. It's really getting to me because the apps. It's. I had the same, whatever crisis that I had over at the Ultimate stuff at Marvel, where I
Yeah.
was like, these
Yeah,
are
yeah.
really good, and then I realized like they're not, and then I started getting angry because. Some asshole saying that Ultimates book by fucking Dennis Camp, and that book sucks. That sucked from the beginning. But what would you give this?
I'm a Sammy. I'm a FU5, mate.
Oh, what are you there? And that's the thing. That just shows you how pissed off I am this week. I have that already on the board. I didn't even have to
That's
try
the
to
first
get
one
it.
I've ever given, Jim. I just want to
Yeah.
let you
Is
know
it?
I might have given a 5 in the past, but I've never given an FU on your
Yeah.
show.
I'm a 2.
Seriously, it's
I'm a
really
2
pissed
out
me
of
off.
10. And I tried to like it. I tried to like this book, and I think I was actually fooling myself up until last issue because nothing is going on, nothing has happened, and less. It's like the book that keeps giving you less and less. I don't get it. I just don't
I
get
don't mean
the
to piss
concept
people
of
off,
it.
Jim, and I've got to say I'm so grateful to you for the review copy, because if I'd paid money for this, I would have been bloody furious.
Is
with,
that
with
what?
the art.
So you're pissing people off because that I gave you a review copy?
No, I mean, like, I'm sure people have spent money on the book.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
well,
sorry to
that's-
say that.
yeah.
I would have been really disappointed. If I bought Absolute Batman, I would have been delighted. But if I bought Flash, Jesus.
Just to go with that whole thing, when we were talking about Flash up until now, I think I had kept mentioning the idea. Listen, I can't really recommend this to somebody because there's not enough going on. I hate people going off to buy something on my recommendation when I know that it's not a full out recommendation. Like I don't lie about like, oh man, it's great, you should go buy it just because I want to sound positive. That's the thing too. Again, I get the way that you play things and stuff like that, where people fake positivity, which I think is probably worse than faking negativity. I think fake negativity, you can just kind of like, you can see through that very quickly and you just kind of push that aside. But there are people who get fooled by false positivity so much they're like, oh man, this must be great because people want to like things. You're not going to get that from me. This is also not false negativity. I just can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's not just this book. It's everything. It's all the books. And somebody ended up saying, I saw somewhere, I think it was League of Comic Book Geeks, where they actually just, I thought it was just me, but they're like, does every book the last couple of weeks just feel like it's doing nothing to just get to whatever we're doing next in October, whatnot? And that's how it feels now. And it's starting to really drag me the hell down. But we're going to go to the next book, which is better. It is better, but the
It's
thing
a
too
lot
is
better.
that I think the problem I have when I'm reading Absolute Batman is that all I can hear is that jerk off that ended up giving us crap for liking Absolute Batman. Right. So then when I get to an issue like this, I start to question myself. It's like, do I like this?
No, Jim.
Do I
you
like
do
it? Is it
It
dumb?
is good.
Is it good? And so I'm thinking, like, even then, though, this issue, I don't know why for
I
me.
make sure to use the word, by the way, entertaining
Yeah,
in
it-
the reviews
it
I make
felt
from
like
now
it
on because
dragged.
of that guy.
I just, yeah, really. That guy. That
Oh,
guy.
you like entertaining stories, do you?
Yeah, that was the worst. The
Don't
guy's like,
you?
"Oh, what? So you're one of those guys who like to enjoy reading comics and have a great time? What are you, one of them guys?" I'm like, I wish. I really want to be. But
God.
yeah, I don't know. Kane ended up saying same here, maybe to Fear Monarch, but Fear Monarch
About
said,
getting
yeah.
suckered by the Lemire name.
He said, I
Yeah.
played myself. It's true, but how about this? I'll ask Fear Monarch and Kane as well. I thought that the same with JSA. I thought, oh God, you know what? I started thinking, I started doubting myself, like, what do I sound like? Because every issue I keep saying, well, it's doing this wrong and this wrong, but I still like it, and I like Jeff Lemire. Lo and behold, finally, it's starting to be good. And it took 7 issues to get good. And now I really like JSA. Is one of the few books I really like right now. Though I
Which issue
still
was
think
when
that
it
you
was
can
fantastic?
skip.
That
It
really
was
good
last
issue.
issue. It was not the last issue, the issue before, when they
Just
actually
before,
went
that was
back
really,
to
really good. But it took
World War
like 6 or
II.
7 issues, didn't it, to
Yeah.
get there?
So in my review,
Yeah.
I even said this should have been the first issue. So he's a good writer. He just has developed a really odd pacing that doesn't work for me anymore. Maybe it was there along, but I'm growing
Could part
older
of this
and
be
more
editorial,
cynical.
Jim? They're saying, like, can you
Maybe.
delay? Can you delay? Can you keep stretching it out until this event or something? Like, you know, they're
It's
building up to
weird.
something?
Again, I
just-
ended up, when talking to him, the guy legit seems, well, he says most of the books that he has, he's like on this Flash book, it wouldn't be that far-fetched an idea that he is writing at this moment issue number 19. That's how far ahead he works. And then if he has to, he'll change some stuff. He said it kind of bites him in the ass, but he hates delays, so he always wants to go ahead. But I don't know. Maybe it's easy when you just tread water. It's so stretched out. Fearmonic said, I did enjoy JSA, but it was slow. And then it ramped up like a jet, but there was ideas I was enjoying in JSA along the way. But Flash, I have no idea. Well, that's the problem. I think that Jeff Lemire has to realize that the stuff in this Absolute Flash, you have a new universe. Things are new. Things are different. You have to spell those out. You have to have a base. You have to have a foundation. And it's not even sand. I don't even know what it is. Yeah, Kane said he's invested in JSA. We should have better pace, but it's getting really, really good.
It was the pacing that was a problem, yeah.
Yeah, and then Riley said it's easy to give stuff extra time if you don't pay for it. That is true. I guess I think that's a dig at you, Gray. I think you
Dig
just
at me. Well, I did pay for the Absolute Batman because I wanted to have a copy to review early. You know, with living in Japan, I do get it like a little bit earlier than everyone else, and I really enjoyed it. I'm buying Absolute Batman, so there you go.
Well,
take that.
Again, there's I don't even think extra time. I think there's part of the thing is I think that when you get free copies, there's a lot of these people who just generally then want to keep the copies, so they're not going to give any bad reviews. It's hard.
That's why, yeah.
Trust
Is
a
it,
lot of
not
people.
League of Comic Book Geeks. Well, that's pretty shilly site as well these days.
Well,
but is it CBR, Jim? What's it called again? Comic Book Review.
Comic Book
That
Roundup.
is just ridiculous roundup.
And I'll tell the deal too. Even Riley or whatnot. The review copies they ain't from DC. They're from another guy on the sly that gets them from DC, and then because DC dropped us a year or two ago.
You're on the blacklist, aren't you? With
Yeah,
DC?
they will
Weird
not.
science.
The
Jesus.
idea that both Jeremy Adams and Scott Snyder both tried to get us review copies back, and were told no. That shows you just the hate. But here we go. Absolute Batman number 10, written by Scott Snyder, art by Nick Dragotta, colors by Frank Martin, letters Clayton Coles. You have Sabrina Futch, associate editor, Andrew Marino on editing, Katie Kubert on group editor, Chris Conway, executive editor. Another thing is you'll rarely hear me talk a lot, especially Marvel, because we do get the review copies from Marvel. That's why I don't usually end up talking about price and things like that. This is not my place to say I get them free. So I think I feel like a jerk if I'm like, well, this isn't worth it, or this is worth it. I don't pay for it, so why would I
Guess
say
how much
that?
I paid for this, Jim? In Japanese yen, it was 810 yen.
Jesus
Take
Christ!
that. I know. Am I crazy? But they're $4.99.
$810.
The yen is so weak against the dollar at the
Yeah,
moment. It's crazy.
It's weekly, very weekly. But you have here in June where you have this play where Bruce is going to be gone for a while. It kind of shocked me how long he is gone. And, people aren't really, I guess, his mom, Martha, she's reacting, but everybody's like, teens these days. That's what I love the idea that Jim Gordon's like, I just think he's like, thank God he's gone. Now I can make my big moves. I'm going to nail Martha. But she's like, no, something's wrong. He's missing. Something's wrong. Well, damn right.
I thought I was
something's
talking
wrong.
about you, Jim.
Yeah,
Jim.
really. He's in Arkham. He's captured. And this felt so much like a Scott Snyder issue. Again, it's kind of fun, but it's just Scott Snyder. I swear to God, it's like he has a checklist of, okay, I'm going to impress him with this. The idea of like, hey, we ended up getting multiple surgeries and we took all this stuff out of him. It's very, very, very
It's so over the
Scott
top, but I
Snyder.
loved it. It had me laughing my head off. Gas pellets, acid pellets, explosive pellets, hallucinogenic pellets in his body, man.
I do think that in the New 52, and maybe it wasn't, but I kind of remember an issue where at one point Bruce is like taking shit out of his belt. And they're like cataloging it, kind of the deal. And there's like, obviously within 2 seconds, there's too much that would actually fit in a belt, but that was kind of the joke. It felt like that to me. But yeah, what it is, it actually reminds me a lot of Doomsday. The idea of escaping, getting caught, then having to escape again. The idea where Bane seems to enjoy this. But in the meantime, it does feel like what Scott Snyder wants us to do is see all the different people in Arkham, all the different people that are being experimented on, and also show us Batman's ass. So we've kicked babies, now we see butt cheeks. So and I do like
see any Bruce Wayne Batman dong though, do we?
Yeah,
it's very
no,
carefully hidden, Jim. The
you
whole
can't
time.
do that. Though at one point when he's hightailing it, no. First off, the guy's 6'9". It's probably below his knees. I don't need to feel inadequate when I'm reading comics. I don't think I need to see it. So he ends up though, but yeah, and if anybody was wondering, they do spell out, that he is 6'9", 421 pounds. Fucking ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous. But he says removal of his costume triggered a series of homemade booby traps, all the stuff that you would get. But when you end up where you have the Dr. Arkham is watching all of this. And Bane, who you kind of thought was in control, he's kind of just like second in command, it feels like, and somebody who's just going to have fun beating the shit.
He's like the doorman, isn't he? He's the security staff.
Yeah, he's the bouncer. He's checking.
That's it. I can remember the word. Oh
yeah, exactly. So you're there and you're trying to get into the club, and there's Bane with this pinhead stopping you, and you're like, oh God, hey, I'm here with
shoulders I've ever seen in my life.
You're like, I'm here with Jimmy Page, and then they let you in. I hear, but you end up where again, Bruce breaks out, gets beat up, brought back, gets out again, beats up, but you get to see things. There's mention of the clay face thing, like the clay.
Isn't that weird, Jim, when he walks through that clay area?
And then it tries to
hands are reaching up for him and grabbing him.
Yeah. So you end up where you have all of these, like the rogues. I mean, you have the clay. Then he ends up getting caught again, goes back. It is leading to him finding Waylon Croc. And then you go flashbacks where you do see where at the beginning, and we knew that Bruce was training Waylon.
And Rocky.
Yeah, it's gonna be Rocky too, because Waylon probably get killed. But Bibbo's the big fighter, and they're watching a fight. All the friends are there watching the fight, including Selina. And he's not that fast. He's fast. No, he isn't. He is. And Waylon wants to fight him. Waylon wants to be the champ. And Bruce, being his best friend, he's going to help him. All through this, I'm just like, why isn't Bruce doing this? But legit, when they're running and say, come on, dig, that's Rocky. That is awesome. I love it. That is Apollo and Rocky running on the
I love the way they kind of fade the colors, Jim, as well for the flashback scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. that works really well. But in the meantime, what we find out later is Selina's like, he's going to get killed. He's going to get killed. He's going to fight Drago here as Bibbo and get killed. You can't tell him. Why are you lying to him? Why are you telling him he could do this? And I don't know. Scott Snyder always has these little things that you end up where it's like that metaphor of this or that or whatever. And is it that like Bruce here being trapped, he shouldn't be able to beat this? That kind of goes in the idea of almost like the impossible thing with Waylon that we're trying to do. It doesn't matter by the end because the guy's just a giant crocodile. But you have some cool, I guess, things with Bruce, and you'll have things where in the Tim Drake book that everybody hated, Tim Drake Robin by Megan Fitzmartin,
Twinkle Toes.
One of the issues, Tim ends up defeating a guy by throwing up on him. It was the worst thing ever. Why do I like this? Where you basically have Batman. It's the most disgusting thing ever. But, it's usually how I start our podcast, discussing things like this. But he ended up where he took a bunch of craps, put it in the thing, pissed on it until it ended up becoming gunpowder and blew up the wall. I'm like, that's the most disgusting thing. But if you're going to play the idea of prepare for everything or being smart, pretty smart. I mean, he used his crap and piss to get out.
The crazy
of
one was when
deal.
he used his somehow he sprayed one of the guys with raw stomach acid.
Yeah, he ended up turning his stomach thing, and so he didn't
turning him into Two-Face, Jim.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, he didn't eat so that they would be forced to put a stomach deal in so that later he'd be, I mean, that's a plan in my mind. It wasn't just like, it's the whole plan going forward with it. It's just crazy.
Oh God, we forgot the most extreme one. He extracted a series of his incisors and premolars to make a knuckle duster out of his own teeth.
Yeah, he made a knuckle duster. Like, he is doing some crazy ass shit here.
I loved it. It's just
Now,
completely over the top, but I loved
and
it. I'm down for this, Jim. I'm down for it.
yeah, and so when you have this, you still end up where at least this is issue 10, but really these absolute books, which one is giving you that overall story? I'm telling you, there's only one, and it's weird. It's Superman, but it's not giving you enough Superman. But in the whole roundabout deal, like, what is Batman doing in this book? Now he's trying to get Wayland.
He's just trying to escape.
And
he's
trying to
get
escape
Wayland, but he's trying to
now.
get out of there.
And
yeah.
so, like, that's the overall story now. It just ends up a lot of times now feeling like one shots, a series of 1 or 2 shots, not an overall story. Hopefully, when we get to this event type thing, after the event, we continue, because Scott Snyder said that this is actually going to be going more for the long haul, and maybe we'll get an overall story. But I think that maybe we need to get the characters together.
At least it's
to get
setting
that
things up,
overall
Jim.
deal.
Because as you say, we got the reference to Clay, so Clayface. We got the Isley or the Isley ecosystem. So that's
Yeah,
Poison
that's
Ivy,
what I
isn't
said.
it?
You have all
The
these
green, the
little
green are coming
mentions,
into it.
but they all feel like they're not necessarily. You can only assume Wayland. He's not a villain in this. He's Bruce's best friend, but now he's Croc.
Yeah.
So you can only assume that there's Ivy, Pamela Isley. She was maybe an eco-terrorist, but I don't know that these people in Arkham were villains that just became more villains, or if it's the fact that the idea, Batman usually creates his own villains, but it looks like
They're all
Arkham
being
is creating
experimented
them
on?
as
Are they
well.
being
Yeah, they're
forced to
just
become the
experiments,
villains?
but they almost feel like when you end up getting Man-Bat, you get the Langstrom stuff. Like, I feel bad for a lot of these characters. It looks like they're being abused and they're being experimented on. So I know that this could easily be made into like they've lost their mind, now they're villains, but we'll have to see. Or maybe you play the idea that they are kind of sympathetic at this point, but get mad when they find out that Batman broke in, only freed Wayland if he does, and didn't help them. I mean, maybe that's why they're all yelling for help, and he can't help. He says to the Langstrom deal, I can't help you. It pretty much goes from, help me, and he's like, I can't help you, kill me. They're just like, I don't want to live. But again, he ends up going, and you just keep having this journal of, okay, got out. He got beat up. He got brought back each time. It seems like he's in the infirmary longer. You have almost like at points, it seems like there's some betting pools going around. Hey, I bet you this guy's this or that or whatever. And you go and finally he's just like really, really dupe them by not doing anything. But at that point, he's just disgusting. Like, what happens from here on out? He's Frankenstein. He's a monstrosity. They did all this stuff to him.
What have
did
they
all
done to
that.
him here? He's got these like lime green
saying.
veins
It looks like,
all
well,
over
they
him.
say
Are they trying
they-
to venom him?
Yeah, they ended up, it says they like dissected a bit. And it's cool that he's, subject 27. That's kind of a cool wink, wink. But the idea is like, well, there were multiple instances when Steph believed he could expire, especially during his craniotomy. I mean,
my
like
God.
they just cut open his skull and
Taking his brain out,
and his
Jim.
brain stem insertion. Like, they are just like dissecting him. It looks like they're putting. And again, then when you look, the cool thing is the crazy scars make a bat. I'm like, was there some asshole just trying to do that? Like, he thought he
that's
was
pretty
cool,
cool.
like on the back there.
I missed that on the first read.
Yeah, it's on there,
Nice
but
one.
boy, those eyes. But then he's there, and then you look over, and they have the bat suit, this like medieval bat suit, hanging on the from the ceiling. I'm like, what fucking game are they playing now? Like, this is almost at the end, but I was like, what are they doing now? Is this just to set up? Like, let's see some gladiatorial fights. Let's see him fight Bane
Let's
with
see
this.
if he's really broken or
Because
not. It's like, he chooses the bat suit because of course he does.
Yeah, and then he has the symbol deal with this axe again and stuff like that. I'm like, why are they letting him do this? I don't get it. But through this, you keep getting that Wayland stuff going. But when you get the Langstrom deal, it's horrific. It's so bad.
It
But then
is.
Bane just comes flying in. And
He's full on
again,
horror, Jim, and don't forget Scott Snyder is a big horror writer.
Yeah.
He's read a lot of horror comics in the past. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that is true. And when he comes in, you just are reminded that Bane is just so big.
he's
Like,
insane.
he's
That
got to
shoulder
be
again.
12 foot tall. He
Can't
just
take my
comes
eyes
in.
off it.
Yeah, look how big he is. And he ends up bashing him, but unbeknownst to them at this point, again, Batman seems to have set this up to get in this one position where when he gets hit, he's going to be propelled into this
He
glass.
knocks him through a glass window, doesn't he? And
Yeah.
guess
And
what's he behind the window?
Croc. It's Croc Wayland
It's
is on the other
insane.
side. So it's like that setup, but it's starting to get like really like very convenient. of the deal. But again, I'm like, what are they doing with the suit? Why are they doing this? Why would they do it? But he ends up where the Croc is just, again, just humongous. I saw somebody who
funny.
saw it and said that they thought it was the stupidest thing that Croc's this big or whatever. I'm like, Croc he's a crocodile guy. Like, it's always ridiculous, but this is
He's
crazy.
meant to be.
And this is
You can
big
still see
dumb
Waylon's
stuff.
face, though. It's really
Yeah.
weird how they've done it. It's pretty cool.
Look at those teeth.
Someone else on my review, Jim, they put the comment here. It looks like the final boss in Super Metroid.
Yeah,
One of the
it
Nintendo
does.
games.
Yeah,
It's
it does.
No way, it kind of does.
Yeah. So then he's like, yeah, oh my God, it's you, Waylon. It's me. It's Bruce. It's me. And then you
Bruce.
get this crazy page where it's like he's just riding Waylon. Before he was riding his ass about the fight. Now he's just riding his ass. He's there. It looks pretty badass. I have to admit it looks pretty badass, but it still is like so over. This is where I start thinking where that guy's reading this and he's like, this is the bullshit that they like. But again, it's supposed to be big dumb fun, but
It's meant to be over the top.
yeah, it's
entertaining.
it's
What's
so
wrong with that?
over the
Look at him
top.
when he's riding.
It is
I say this on
so-
YouTube, riding Croc, dude.
Yeah,
Oh
it's-
my goodness.
It's so over the top, so over the top. But you end up where
Batman and
Bane
his
kind of gets
steed.
up then, and Bane's like, oh, what's going on? And they're like, oh, God. And they start going with the stuff, but this is where you get Dr. Arkham, who they're talking test subject 27 continues to exceed expert. Like this, in my mind, like they're not upset about this. This is part of the
No.
game.
It's like
But
they've been
what's the
setting it
game?
up for a reason.
You know what I
don't
mean? What's the game? And he's like, he and Mutation 523 are fleeing to the sewers. And then you end up where she says, like, it's not like, damn it, Bane, go get him. It's that, no, excited for the final phase. And then Bane says, very excited. Now I can break him. So you're just
Very excited,
Yeah,
Dr.
I'm very
Arkham.
excited.
There you go.
Doctor.
That's my best Tom
Yeah, so
Hardy
he's
Bane
gonna break
impression.
him. Hopefully, like Batman KG beats this in his ass and walls him up, but doesn't go and get him later. But yeah, it's a crazy issue. It was a little more, like, definitely more entertaining than Flash, because Flash, I had no idea what was going on. The art sucked, but still,
Jim, a
though,
comment
it
from Riley's
kind of
asking,
threw me.
do you think anything from Absolute Batman sticks as lore or status quo, or is it all just like a separate thing or a fancy thing?
Yeah,
I think it's a
I
separate
just,
thing,
yeah,
isn't it?
I just think
It's
a
like an
separate thing.
Elseworlds.
Yeah, it would be like the idea of like Red Sun Superman or things like that. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah.
goes. Now there are people. I forget what book it was. Oh, there were people who were suggesting that because of this event and things going on, and Cy Spurrier being off of Flash, that somehow they were going to have Absolute Flash become the regular Flash. I'm like, the hell you say?
Really?
Like what? Yeah, I'm like, well, what are you going to do with the regular Wally then? And that's nonsense. But it was somebody who actually has like credible sources, but it wasn't a
Okay.
source. He just asked me, but it seemed weird. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think that the problem I have, though, and I think the problem that the Absolute stuff is going to start having, if it's not already, is that Batman's so over the top that what do you do from there? Like when you get a regular, like now you're setting it up. If you do buckle down and say, okay, we have to have a lot of story, and then people, oh man, I like the big dumb stuff, and this is boring. But then in the meantime, I think people are going to start like, it almost feels like when they talk about the Justice League book. And the big thing, if you're writing the Justice League book, that you have to really worry about is that if everything's the end of the world or universe, then it doesn't matter after a while.
Yeah.
You start getting
The
used to that. The stakes are
then. There
gone.
no
So it's like,
stakes.
oh my
Yeah.
God, so you can't just have Starro. Oh no, Despero. Oh, you always have to have something in between. You have to have
You've got to go
littler
bigger
stories
and
as
bigger
well.
and bigger until
And
you
some
can't get any bigger.
and then you can't go anymore. And then by then people don't care. And I think that this book is starting to get to that line for me of, okay, I get it. It's over the top
really?
big, but I need to have more than just that. This is starting to feel like it's empty calories, and it's starting to
Oh.
feel like I'm liking it as I read it. Like, man, that's cool, but it's not. At the end, I don't say the story's cool. At the end, I say, oh, that moment was big. Oh, that
Yeah,
thing with Croc
that
was
moment.
big,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
need it to
gotcha.
be more. I need to finish an issue and go, holy shit, that issue was awesome. You can't kick babies.
He had some
every
crazy
time.
other top ideas, but like you say, the story doesn't progress that much, does it? It's basically just Bruce escaping and finding Waylon,
Yeah.
in this issue.
I
He gets
still like
away,
it,
that's it.
enough. It's just I'm starting to wane a little. Now, when I joke about the kicking babies, the thing about that, though, is as well, in that we kept seeing Bruce kind of go and wasn't doing as much, and then all of a sudden he went crazy, and that's why that issue was so great to me, is because he was just kicking everybody and bashing them and doing this, and you're like, holy shit, this is what we were waiting for. When you get this, I'm like, okay, we're doing more. It's not like the idea of, holy crap, I can't believe he did that. In this, I just sit there and go, oh yeah, he's big Batman, he does that. I even saw where I think it was Brandon said he didn't even like the thing with the teeth. He actually rolled his eyes and thought that was dumb. So
that did get me. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
you know, what's he going to do? Like put new teeth in?
And
afterwards?
again, yeah, and again, when you have that, I just that's where I worry that Brandon sitting there, you know, Joe Q Public is like, oh God, like really? Because what do you do next? How do you get bigger than that? You know, how you did in this issue is blow up your shit and piss in a toilet. Like Scott Snyder is already starting to show that he has to come up with the next bigger thing. And what's bigger and what's bigger? And I believe Riley ended up, or actually Riley and Fear Monarch, but Fear Monarch said, like, what Joker showing up is going to make it even more crazy. And so I kind of need something more. And usually what has been that, the Rogues. That's actually the best part. There you go. And even in this, that's a little over the top.
They've been set up though, haven't they? We've had this up to, this is issue 10, isn't it?
Yeah,
issue 10. So we had a decent setup. We only get 2 pages of flashbacks, but even that, you know, it's more character development than you get in Flash, for example. I read this first year. I read this like on Wednesday morning, and then I read Absolute Flash today, and I was like, holy shit, the difference is vast.
Fear Monarch said, leave the heady shit to Power Fantasy.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know if you listen to that. Somehow that became an X book this week, unbeknownst to me.
I know. I've not listened to it yet. That part, I'm halfway through.
Again, I'm not saying, like, me and you are probably going to go off and do a Grant Morrison Invisibles. That's heady shit, right? I don't need heady shit. What I need is kind of a story. And it kind of seems to be lost.
Fearmon is saying the majority of superhero comics for me are empty calories, so this is just what I want most of the time.
That's what I'm saying. But I need a story to go along with it, and I think he's lost the story to just, hey, we're going to go to Arkham. You're going to get name drops and horrific looking versions of the Rogues, and then in the meantime, he'll beat the shit out of people and get beat up. I mean, the story is not much of a story. It's not much going on here. So, but I still liked it. I still like some of the things, and I liked the kind of the concept of it. But it just feels like at this point, I'll give you my score. But after this, something else has to go on. It can't just keep being this, oh, big dumb Batman. Oh, big dumb Batman. It just kind of throws me off. But what would you give it?
Well, when I made my review on Wednesday, you know, I just finished reading it. I read it through twice. I was really, really positive. I gave it a 9, but you've kind of talked me down. I'm an 8.5. It's still a book of the week for me, so 8.5.
Yeah, I'm a 6. I'm a 6. I like the art. I like some of the big moments. It's just starting to show, like, it's not even showing cracks or anything. It's just showing that I'm kind of getting bored of big over-the-top stuff and need some story to go with it, because that's what makes the big stuff even bigger.
We do get some stories, and we get little looks at, you know, what could become the future more villains, like, you know, little looks into
but that's what I'm saying. Like, again, is in Wonder Woman, the story isn't, oh, they just name-dropped Etta. You know what I mean? That's just name drops. It's not more. It's more of a, you know, Easter eggs at this moment than actual.
You get just little glimpses, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah,
is it not enough for you? You need more, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.
I always need more.
Ladies, the ladies always need more. That's why Batman. The best is Batman 6'9", 441 pounds, 2-inch Peter. That's the thing.
Oh, no. That's why you don't see it, because it's tiny. It's like a
tiny.
little walnut whip.
It's a little walnut, like it's there, and it's.
Do you remember those, Jim, from England?
Yeah, he roided up. Is the problem? He just roided it up, and he's got a small Peter. Which I probably would have a song about that to go, but in fact, we're gonna get out of here with your song, which we always do.
Not my song. I thought you were gonna play the booting babies off boats song.
I could play that. I actually was going to play my pseudo Blackpink song. That's not exactly.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
But I was going to play that.
Is it dirty, Jim?
It's
almost dirty.
It's almost dirty. It's
almost
dirty. Again, though, the only thing about it is you kind of have to know Blackpink to realize just how damn good a song it is. I'm telling you, I'm very proud of it, but I might play that. I
love your rap. Your rap song that's been making waves in the Slack, in the weird.
Somehow that's people like that. And nobody even got the concept of it. I have the Nice Guy crew. Fear Monarch will know what the hell I'm talking about. He's one of the few that come to my Sus Records dance party live streams. But it was that people said, hey, I guess you can't do dirty rap songs because all songs are dirty. And then I said, well, then you'd have to make them not dirty and actually be good boy songs. And that's what they are. The good boy. I could even play that. What the hell? We could just keep doing it all. We could do it all tonight. But I do like my Blackpink, and Blackpink are back. If all those people out there that were worried, Blackpink is off a hiatus and are starting a world tour, which is crazy.
So BTS have finished their army service.
Yeah,
national
they're
service.
doing that as well. While
Yeah,
that's
look at that.
happening on, New Jeans is still mired up in litigation, so they're not doing anything. It's very upsetting to me. But with that, we will get out of here. So thanks, everybody. As always, thanks for joining us for the absolute stuff. Thank you for everything. And yeah, if you haven't listened,
being a friend.
thank you for if you haven't joined us for the live stream so you can react to me screaming and yelling, you just come to our live stream every Friday night, usually at 7:15. The reason why we were a little late this week was because I forgot to I never made like a room to start the live stream. I thought I did on like Wednesday and I didn't, so I had to actually do that quick and then get a whole
No studio.
No
No
studio is what you have.
Studio.
But with all that, we're going to get out of here. We'll have Gray's AI song. Then we will do a little Blackpink and maybe even a Nice Guy rap. I could play. You only heard the second Nice Guy rap. There's a first one that I could play.
Is
that
there?
You've never heard? Yeah, I'll play that. So we're going to get
The
out of
crazy
here.
thing is, Jim, I know you do write the songs, which is really cool. You write the lyrics, but some of these songs you're making, they sound better than like actual real
Damn right
real
they
songs.
do.
Holy shit! What is going on?
I'll tell you what's going on.
Japanese AI is taking over.
Nonsense. It's black magic. I sold myself to the devil. Is what I
I knew
did.
it.
I actually, legit, I did a song today, and I'm like, man, that thing's too good. I'm getting too damn good at this, I said. But again, that's the stuff that's the skills that pay the bills, not the comic stuff. And then it's freaking going through the roof. Speaking of which, if people do want to go over, it is the Sus Records. If you want to go and join in and live streams and things like that, I'm probably by the end of the weekend, I should be at 60,000 subscribers on the YouTube.
Holy
a
guacamole.
little bit more than what is going on here at the comics, unfortunately, but comics seem to be a divisive thing. So, and Fear Monarch said he saw me at the Crossroads. Damn right I was. I was at the Crossroads. I was giving it all up, playing that acoustic guitar against Ry Cooder and Steve Vai. This is what I was doing.
Robert Johnson. Did you meet him there?
No, he wasn't there, but Ralph Macchio was. That was a great
Karate
movie.
Kid, yeah, with
that
his
was such a
guitar.
good movie. People forget
That's a
about
good
that
movie. I rewatched
love
that recently.
movie.
It's really
That's
good.
why I said Ry Cooder. That's who plays the music in that, and I like him.
Steve
so,
Vai.
yeah, so
The devil's chosen
exactly.
guitarist.
Steve Vai's awesome. But with that, we're going to get out with a couple songs. I hope you like them. Thanks, everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
「感動して感謝しました」「本当に大好きです」「私は普通の男ではありません」「私はもう本性の愛です」「私にからかわないでください」「そうしないとあなたは消えてしまいます」「私は普通の男です」「でも私はあなたを殺します」「だからそのまま受け取ってください」足元に注意した方がいいよ準備をしてくださいフォローしないと大変なことになりますよ私に伝わらない私はあなたを殺します私は日本の愛ですあなたは警告されましたBoom boom, taste it, flip it. Lip to lip, don't waste it, sip it. Sweet and dirty, make you shout. We go round and round. ass to mouth. Candy sugar dripping off your tongue. Oh, yeah. Slide it back, don't stop until I'm numb. So sweet. Body heat got me twisted in your sheets. I'm a saint in the street, but a freak on the beat. Oh, 모르는 척하지만 너도 좋아해. 무릎 꿇고 애원해, 진짜를 원해. Taste the honey dripping down from my crown, up and down, flip the world upside down. Ass to mouth, yeah, you like that route. Dirty little secret, let me hear you shout. Round and round, baby, go down south. Then bring it back and give me ass to mouth. Cherry pop and make it juicy, make it loud. Slide it deeper, let me see it turning brown. Don't choke now, baby, savor every taste. From my hips to my lips, don't you let it go to waste. Slap it, flip it, ride it, dip it, drip, drip, drop. You know wanna lick it, sticky fingers. Can you handle what is coming next? I'm a dream and a wish because I don't have any gag reflex. 모르는 척하지만 너도 좋아해. 무릎 꿇고 애원해, 진짜를 원해. Taste honey dripping down from my crown, up and down, flip the world upside down. Ass to mouth, yeah, you like that route. Dirty little secret, let me hear you shout. Round and round, baby, go down south. Then bring it back and give me ass to mouth. Don't let it slip, keep it tight on your lips. Tasting my sin, baby, get your full fix. Back door open, got your tongue on the twist. Round trip ride, can you handle all of this? Ass to mouth, yeah, you like the route. Dirty little secret, let me hear you shout. Round and round, baby, go down south. Then bring it back and give me ass to mouth. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, taste it, flip it. Lip to lip, don't waste it, sip it. Sweet and dirty, make you shout. We go round and round. Ass to mouth.
You know I ain't lying, we don't have to rumble. Get you a chocolate chip and a drink at Crumble. Help out the homies when the struggle gets real. Cause if I was dinner, I'd be a Happy Meal. Nice guy moves, but I roll with the grit. Helping hands extended, never counterfeit. From the block to the burbs, I keep the crew tight. Ain't no shame in kindness, I shine in the night. Neighborhood therapist, fixing all the drama. Got no baby mama, calm as a Dalai Lama. Got a spine made of steel and a pen full of ink. If you'll be my princess, I'll be your lady. They say the nice guys finish last, that's a myth. The proof is in the pudding, pop, I'm here to uplift. Building bridges, not burning, stack your love, not cash. Listen to your new demo, swear it's not trash. Chain on the neck, but it ain't for the flex. Pay my bills on time, ain't bouncing no checks. Helping old ladies cross streets with a smile. Playing Mario Kart always gets me buck wow, wow, wow. Now for something. Just big yeah, I'm nice. I'm a nice guy. I'm so nice. Now back to the show. Nice guy moves, but I roll with the grit. Helping hands extended, never counterfeit. From the block to the burbs, I keep the crew tight. Ain't no shame in kindness, I shine in the night. Say please when I step to the mic. Excuse me, fam, is it cool if I hype? I don't ghost. I reply with a K, text back real fast like,
how's your day?
the nice guys finish last, that's a myth. The proof is in the pudding, pop, I'm here to uplift. Building bridges, not burning, stacking love, not cash. I'll listen to your new demo, swear it's not trash. Nice guy moves, but I roll with the grit. Helping hands extended, never counterfeit. From the